Welcome back to Kitten Crochet. Today I've got our third mug rug pattern, and this one's got these diagonal stripes. Again, I'm going to use a size H crochet hook and a worsted cotton yarn. In the previous two videos I used Bernat Handicrafter cotton, and this one I'm using Lily Sugar and Cream in strawberry. It's this variegated pink and white. So this one's going to start a little bit different because it's diagonal. We're going to start on a corner, and the way we make these diagonal stripes is by increasing and decreasing. So to start, we're going to chain 2. I'm going to do a half double crochet in the very first chain. So this is going to count as one half double crochet, this chain does. I'm going to make 2 more in the starting chain, so I have 3 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So I've got 2 half double crochet that I just made plus my starting chain that counts as 3 half double crochet. Now I'm going to chain 2, which is the height of a half double crochet. I'm going to do one in the same stitch because I want to increase my stitch count. And I'm going to do 1 in the next stitch and 2 in my turning chain. So I'm increasing my stitch count by 2 on every row for the first few rows. I'm doing an extra stitch in the first stitch and an extra stitch in the last stitch of my row. Maybe. So I should have 5 stitches after the second row. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to chain 2 and turn, chain 2 and turn, half double crochet in the same stitch, and half double in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Oops, I'm having trouble today. And then 2 half double crochet in my turn chain. So I should have now 7 stitches. I'm going to chain 2 and turn, half double in the same stitch, half double in the next 5. And then 2 half double in my turn chain. Now I have 9. So I'm going to keep going. Chain 2, turn, half double in the same, half double in the next 7. And I'm going to keep doing this until my stitch count is 23 stitches. Two HTC in the last turn chain. So if you want to skip ahead in the video until I'm done with the increases, you can, or you can just watch me do them and do them with me. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn, half double in the same stitch, and half double across to the last stitch, seven, 8, 9, and then I'll do 2 half double in my turn chain, maybe. And that'll give me a row of 13 stitches. So I've got 5 more rows of increasing. So this is my corner, and you can see I'm growing. So I'm going until it's as wide as I want it on one side. So if you want to make yours bigger, then just keep going. If you want to make yours smaller, stop earlier. Alright, so that was 13 stitches, half double in the same stitch, and I'll go 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 2 in my turn chain. So this row had 15 stitches. We're getting there. Chain 2, turn, half double in the same. And I've got 13 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that was 17 on that row. Chain 2 and turn. Half double in the same stitch. And I've got 15 across. And 2 in the last chain. So that was 19, chain 2, HTC in the same. Got 17 across now. Alright, last row of increases. So chain 2, half double crochet in the same. Got 19 across now. 1, 2. Alright, so I've got 23 stitches across, and now I'm ready to make it a rectangle instead of a triangle. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn, but now I'm not going to do a half double in the same stitch because I don't want to increase again. In fact, I'm going to decrease in the next stitch. So yarn over, pull through, insert in the next stitch, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all. That's a half double crochet 2 together. Then I'm going to half double crochet across. But I am going to work 2 half doubles in this turn chain on this side. So I did 1 decrease and 1 increase. That means I should still have 23 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 with the turn chain. Okay. This next row I'm also still going to have 23 stitches. So I'm going to chain 2 and turn. And I'm going to half double crochet in the same stitch because I want to increase on this side. And I'm going to half double across. And when I come to my last 2 stitches, I'm going to do a decrease. So I've got, this was my decrease that I did before in my turn chain. So I'm going to do a half double crochet decrease in these 2 stitches. So again, I did an increase at the beginning and a decrease at the end, so I should still have 23 stitches. Now, if you wanted your mug rug to be longer, you would just repeat the last 2 rows as much as you want, keeping in mind that you're going to have a triangle to finish it, right, when we start decreasing some more. So if you want it longer, repeat these last 2 rows, but I don't want it longer, so I'm going to start decreasing now. So now I'm just going to do a decrease on both sides, and the side that I turn on, I'm going to do my turn chain, and then I'm going to do my decrease on the next 2 stitches, just like I did on the row before. So I'm going to chain 2, not gonna half double in the same stitch, but I'm gonna do a decrease next. So remember, this is the stitch that my chain 2 is coming out of, so I'm going to skip that one and do a half double in the next 2 stitches, or a half double crochet decrease in the next 2 stitches. And then I'll half double across to the last 2 stitches, and I'll do another decrease there. So I'm decreasing by 2 stitches for every row, just like at the beginning I increased by 2 stitches every row. This is just going to make it get smaller and come down to that point on the other end. So this pattern, this mug rug, is a lot more involved than the other 2 we made. But the diagonal is kind of fun. And it's good practice with increases and decreases. So my last 2 stitches, I'm going to do a half double crochet decrease. And so now I just decreased on both sides, so I should only have 21 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, because you always count the turn chain. So if you're ever unsure, you can always count your stitches. Make sure you have the right stitch count. So I'm going to just do this until I get all the way down to 3 stitches left. So I'm not going to work in that first stitch. I'm going to do a decrease in the next 2 and across. I think the trickiest part here is just making sure you don't do a half double in that turn in the first stitch, because you have your turn chain that counts for that. Because that first stitch seems so big because it was a decrease, it seems like you should work into it, but you should not. I always love it when you get to start decreasing, because then you feel like you're on the home stretch and each row gets faster. Alright, so I'm down to 15 stitches, and you can see that it is making this rectangle. It's decreasing this way towards this corner. And the diagonals, they don't form, in my experience, when you do it with a half double crochet, the corners aren't going to be super sharp. If I did it with single crochet, it'd be a little sharper, but it's still awesome. And when you put the fringe on it, it will sharpen it up a little bit. Alright, this was 11 stitches. A few more rows of decreases. So my last row had 5 stitches. This one's going to end up with 3, so I'm not working that first one, but then I'm going to do a decrease, and then I'm immediately going to do my last decrease because I'm at my last 2 stitches. Okay. So now I have 3 stitches. To finish it off, I'm going to chain 1 instead of 2, and then I'm going to pick up a loop in each of the next 2 stitches. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Cut it and tie it off. Oh, what did I make? I made a weird diagonal. I made a weird triangle thing. Okay. So there is my little mug reggie. Mine ended up a little bit wider than my other one. That's okay. It will benefit from blocking if you feel like blocking it, but you don't really have to. Like I said, when I add the fringe, it'll help straighten out just a little bit, but the diagonals can seem a little bit wonkier. It's a little bit more finicky than the straight mug rugs, but they're still fun. Okay, so to make the fringe, oh, and also I filmed continuously while I made this, and it only took me 22 minutes-ish, even including stopping and talking to you, so it's not a project that takes a super long time. Okay, to make the fringe, I'm going to cut a bunch of pieces of string. And that'll do for now because I'm not going to do them all with you. And I usually try and start the fringe longer than I want it to be so that I can trim it down evenly after I'm done. I don't have to worry as much about making sure it's exactly the same right when I make it. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 of these strings. And if you care which side is the front, you want to start from the back. It doesn't really matter which side the front is, so just up to you. So I attached 1 set of fringe for each row of crochet that I did. So this is how you do it. Insert your hook, and really it doesn't really matter, just kind of the side loop. Grab your 2 strings of yarn, pull them through, but not all the way. And then I'm going to pull these 2 tails, or 4 tails rather, through the loop, and then snug them up. And I'll take 2 more strings, go to the next row, wherever that is. Having trouble seeing things. Or really, you can put them as packed in or as loosely packed as you want. It really doesn't matter. Okay, I'm gonna pull my tails through and snug it up. Okay, so you can see these fringes are really long, so when I'm done with all of the fringes, I'll make sure they're tight, and then I'll just cut them however long I want them. I'm not going to cut them yet because I'm not done yet, so if I want them short, I'll make them short, long, whatever. You can choose how long you want to make them. You just add fringe all the way across the edge, and then trim them up, and do it to the other side, and trim it up, and then you've got a mug rug. Yay! Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and this free pattern. I'd love to see your projects. If you want to tag me on Instagram, it's kickin_crochet, or you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/kickincrochet. Stay tuned for more.